On February 11, 2012, the world lost one of its most luminous stars. Whitney Houston, the woman whose voice could shatter glass and mend hearts, was found unresponsive in a bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills, California. It was the eve of the Grammy Awards, a night meant for celebration, but fate had scripted a devastating finale. Let's rewind to her last 24 hours, a poignant prelude to the tragedy that encapsulated her turbulent life. In the hours leading up to her death, Whitney seemed to be in good spirits. Around 3:15 p.m., she spoke on the phone with her mother, Cissy Houston, who later recalled her daughter sounding fine, perhaps even optimistic. Whitney had been preparing for Clive Davis's pre-Grammy party that evening, an event she was set to attend as a guest of honor. Just 2 days earlier, on February 9th, she had visited singers Brandy and Monica for their rehearsals for the same party, delivering an impromptu performance of Jesus Loves Me with Kelly Price at a Hollywood nightclub. Witnesses described her as radiant, her voice still carrying that signature power, though her appearance hinted at the toll of years of struggle. But beneath the surface, darkness loomed. At 3:43 p.m., her assistant discovered her submerged in the bathtub of Suite 434. Paramedics arrived swiftly, performing CPR, but it was too late. She was pronounced dead at 3:55 p.m. The coroner's report revealed a heartbreaking truth: accidental drowning, with heart disease and cocaine use as contributing factors. Remnants of a white powdery substance and a spoon were found in the bathroom, painting a picture of a final, fatal relapse. Whitney, at 48, had drowned in the very waters meant for solace, her body betraying the spirit that had once soared so high. This end was not abrupt. It was the culmination of a life marked by unparalleled triumphs and profound sorrow. To understand Whitney's tragedy, we must journey back to her beginnings, where the seeds of her timeless voice were sown amid a nurturing yet complicated family tapestry. Whitney Elizabeth Houston was born on August 9, 1963, in Newark, New Jersey, into a world steeped in music and faith. Her mother, Emily "Cissy" Houston, was a gospel powerhouse, a backing singer for legends like Aretha Franklin and Elvis Presley. Her father, John Russell Houston, Jr., managed Cissy's career and provided a stable, if modest, home. Whitney was the youngest of 3 siblings, with brothers Michael and Gary, the latter also a singer. But her extended family was a constellation of stars: cousin Dionne Warwick, a pop icon, and godmother Aretha Franklin, the queen of soul. From birth, Whitney was musical royalty. The family attended New Hope Baptist Church, where Whitney joined the junior gospel choir at age 5 and learned piano. By 11, she performed her first solo, her voice already hinting at the divine instrument it would become. Yet childhood wasn't without shadows. Newark in the 1960s was turbulent, marked by riots and racial strife. The Houston family relocated to suburban East Orange for safety, but personal demons lurked. In later years, a dark family secret emerged. Whitney and her half-brother Gary were allegedly molested as children by their cousin Dee Dee Warwick, a revelation that haunted Whitney's psyche and fueled her later vulnerabilities. Despite this, Whitney's early years were filled with love and encouragement. Sissy nurtured her talent, taking her to New York clubs where she sang backups for artists like Chaka Khan. As a teen, she modeled, becoming one of the first black women on the cover of 17 magazine. But music was her calling. At 19, Clive Davis signed her to Arista Records after witnessing her perform, launching a career that would redefine pop and R&B. Whitney's ascent was meteoric. Her 1985 self-titled album sold 25 million copies, yielding hits like How Will I Know and Greatest Love of All. She became the first woman to have 3 number-1 singles from a debut album. The 1992 film The Bodyguard, co-starring Kevin Costner, grossed over $400 million, and its soundtrack, featuring I Will Always Love You, became the best-selling of all time. Whitney won 6 Grammys, 22 American awards, and influenced generations of singers. Her voice, pure, powerful, emotive, was dubbed The Voice. But fame's glare exposed cracks. Amid her success, whispers of personal turmoil grew. Central to Whitney's emotional narrative was her love life, a whirlwind of passion, betrayal, and hidden truths. In 1980, at 17, she met Robin Crawford while working as camp counselors in East Orange. Their bond was immediate and profound, friends, confidants, and for 2 years, lovers. Robin described it as intimate on all levels, a deep connection born of youth and shared dreams. They lived together, sharing cats and late-night talks about music. But as Whitney's career skyrocketed, societal pressures mounted. Homophobia in the industry and her Baptist upbringing forced her to end the physical aspect. In 1982, she gave Robin a Bible, explaining that their romance could derail her journey. Robin remained her closest ally, becoming her assistant and creative partner, but rumors persisted, fueling tabloid frenzy. Whitney denied them vehemently, but the secrecy added layers of pain. Then came Bobby Brown. They met at the 1989 Soul Train Music Awards, where Whitney, initially unimpressed, booed him during his win. But sparks flew. Bobby, a bad boy R&B star with a history of legal troubles, pursued her relentlessly. They married in 1992 in a lavish ceremony at her New Jersey mansion. To the world, it was a fairy tale, the pristine diva and the edgy heartthrob. But reality was far darker. Their union was a tempest of love, addiction, and betrayal. Infidelity plagued them from the start. Bobby admitted to cheating early, and Whitney allegedly had affairs with producers, artists, and even Tupac Shakur. Emotional and physical abuse escalated. Whitney confided to Oprah that Bobby spat on her once.
He had just put everything aside of his own and just said, I'll go with you, don't worry about it. We'll do this thing. I think somewhere inside, something happens to a man.
In front of their daughter and slapped her. Bobby claimed Whitney hit him too, but denied being the aggressor. Drugs fueled the chaos. Both battled addiction. Cocaine, alcohol, marijuana. Whitney's issues began in the late 80s, exacerbated by fame's isolation. By the 90s, their home was a haze of substance abuse. Interventions failed. Tabloids feasted on their downfall. In 2003, their reality show, Being Bobby Brown, exposed the dysfunction, showing Whitney's erratic behavior and their volatile dynamic. Amid this storm, their daughter, Bobby Christina Brown, was born on March 3, 1993. Chrissy, as Whitney called her, was her greatest joy and deepest regret. Raised in luxury but chaos, she witnessed her parents' fights and drug use. Whitney and Bobby smoked crack in front of her, Bobby later admitted. Chrissy idolized her mother, aspiring to sing, but her inherited vulnerabilities. By her teens, she experimented with drugs, mirroring Whitney's path. The divorce in 2007 left Chrissy torn, custody awarded to Whitney, but Whitney's relapses continued, culminating in her 2012 death, which devastated Chrissy. "I love you, Mommy," she tweeted, her grief raw. Tragically, history repeated itself. On January 31, 2015, almost 3 years after Whitney's passing, Chrissy was found unresponsive in a bathtub at her Georgia home, echoing her mother's fate. She lingered in a coma for 6 months before dying on July 26, 2015, at 22. The cause, immersion in water combined with drug intoxication, including marijuana, alcohol, and prescription meds. Eerie parallels abounded, both face down in bathtubs before major music events, both battling substances. Chrissy's boyfriend, Nick Gordon, was held liable in a wrongful death suit, accused of abuse and enabling her addiction. The mother-daughter bond, once a beacon, became a tragic echo. 2 timeless voices silenced too soon. Whitney's death sent shockwaves. Tributes poured in. Her funeral at New Hope Baptist Church drew stars like Kevin Costner, who eulogized her as "sweet miracle." Her estate, valued at $20 million, went into a trust for Chrissy, but upon her death, it passed to Whitney's brothers and mother, Sissy. Bobby received nothing, their divorce severing ties. As of January 2026, Whitney's family leads quieter lives, far from headlines. Bobby Brown, now 56, has remarried Alicia Etheredge in 2012, fathering 3 more children. He's sober, focusing on family and occasional music, reflecting on his past with regret but resilience. In recent interviews, he speaks of Whitney with love, denying he introduced her to drugs and admitting shared faults. Sissy Houston passed away on October 7, 2024, at 91, after battling Alzheimer's. Bobby sent condolences, a gesture of healing. Brothers Gary and Michael maintain low profiles. Gary tours occasionally as a singer. The Houston legacy endures through foundations like the Whitney Houston Foundation for Children, aiding youth causes. No scandals dominate. Instead, a peaceful fade from the spotlight. Whitney's story is an emotional odyssey, a girl from Newark who conquered the world, only to be undone by its pressures. Her voice remains timeless, a balm for the soul, echoing in songs that capture love's ecstasy and agony. Her daughter's similar fate underscores the cycle of trauma, a plea for empathy toward those in fame's grip. Yet, in their tragedies, we find lessons. Cherish mental health, seek help for addiction, and celebrate the light they brought. Listen to "I Will Always Love You" today. Feel the power, honor the pain. Whitney and Chrissy's voices live on, timeless and unbreakable.